Welcome to Inside the Mill. We talk real fitness, real results, and the stories to prove it. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Mill podcast. Coach Christian here, my main man Seth, and then we got Coach Isaac on the podcast today. Today's title is The Burnout Blueprint and 5 Client Habits that Backfire on Them. So habit number 1, we talked about this one a lot, is when our clients go too hard, way too fast. And I bet as soon as we say that, we've got clients that immediately come to our head of this guy, whenever I signed him up, hadn't worked out since he was in college, even in high school. And then he goes, I'm going to show up 5 days a week. It's the guy that tries to come 2 times a day. It's the guy that's not really stretching whenever he comes into the gym. And he's just going to go from 0 to 100. And the problem with that is you started getting injured. And then you can't sustainably hold that because you haven't even done a quarter of the things that you're trying to do and trying to implement into your life. And so it just leads to you basically just not being able to get sustainable results and almost, whenever your body breaks down, then you can't even work out. And then you start beating yourself up because you had this big goal that you set for yourself, but now you're not able to achieve it because you didn't give yourself sustainable habits in order to even be able to achieve that goal.
Well, you go the workout side of it, and then the nutrition side of it's what you see the guys, they'll go no carbohydrates or something like that, where it's not sustainable long term, and they think that that's going to be the way it's going to get them to where they want to get to. And then the next thing you know, you fall off, and once you fall off, then you have to start all over again as far as no carbohydrates. And so it's like that all in, all out, which is like what I always talk about. It's like the struggle as far as that stuff goes. I don't know if we saved anything for you.
I think a lot of guys.
Oh, you got one.
Yeah.
A
lot of guys, when they're coming into it, they think that is absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
If they're wanting to see the results that they're wanting, they think, I need to be in here 5 days. I need to cut out carbs or whatever they're thinking. When it's not, that's not the case. You can see those results with a lot less and something that's a lot more sustainable.
Yeah, I think a principle that we can live by is just that consistency beats the intensity. You can go hard, but you can only go so hard for so long before things start to break down and you're not able to sustainably do those things. So just being consistent with the little things, that starts to compound and then lead to you actually being able to get those results. Habit number 2, starving themselves instead of fueling. So that ties into the nutrition piece of it that you said. And that's what, oh man, it's so frustrating. And that's what I hate about all the noise that's out there is they go, okay. And you hear this, it's a old tale from back in the day is all right, I'm just going to burn all these calories. I'm not going to eat, but I'm going to go out there and run. I'm going to go out there and you're doing all these things that are super hard. And, you're burning both ends of the stick. Not only are you not feeding yourself, but then you're trying to do too much. And that gas tank runs empty. And when it runs empty, you just have no energy to do anything else.
Perfect example is yesterday, a guy comes in, CrossFit, 50 years old, CrossFit. And then when he looked at the calories or the nutrition sheet that I laid out, and he saw that he was getting, it was 9 ounces of meat for 3 meals, getting 3 serving size of carbohydrates, things like that. And he immediately, that awareness started to, you could see it click, and you're I'm way under eating. And he's 300 pounds. So the larger you are, the more food you get. And so it can be one of those things where you're not eating enough. And then by not eating enough, you're not seeing any weight loss. And so then the story starts to become there's something wrong with you and that you can't lose weight. And when it's actuality, it's this dude will be another success story for us because he's done it the hard way for so long that it's going to unlock, and he's going to be able to see this is way more simple. And that's ultimately why we're so successful. What we do is we've simplified the game. And once they start to understand that, it starts to make it where they can actually sustain it long term.
Yeah, I want to kind of touch on that real quick as far as what a lot of people do is they are scared of food. And so what that creates is they don't eat because at the end of the day, if you're not in a calorie deficit, you're gonna put on weight. You got to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight. So yeah, a lot of people tell themselves, "Oh, I don't eat," but you may not eat Monday through Friday, then on the weekend, like somewhere by the end of the week, you're putting yourself in a calorie surplus. You're not an anomaly that just defies science. Like somewhere you're not accounting for the oil that you cook your food in, the amount of times that you eat out. Whenever you go to Kava and you go to Qdoba, if that bowl says there's 650 calories in that bowl, that person did not weigh out all the oils, all the rice. They didn't weigh that. You got Joe just scooping that rice on there and putting it in there because you ordered the chicken and rice bowl. That rice bowl could be 400 calories or it could be 1,200 calories. You don't know. And so this is why, like, starting to get a coach that shows you how to control those variables. That way you can actually get to the data, because if you don't have the data, you're not going to be able to actually get the results that you want to get.
Y'all definitely hit it. I mean, a lot of the times we get clients in here that they'll go, I'm eating less and less and less, but I'm not losing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sometimes less isn't always more.
Yeah.
And you come back to the point where what you're doing in here, in the gym, is only going to it's not going to benefit you if you are cutting back so far.
Yeah, not at all.
And that's where you have to have someone that's going to call you out on it. And so many times, like, when I was in my younger years and like in my 24, 25, 26, and I'm dealing with clients that are 45, you don't feel comfortable calling them out on that kind of stuff, where we're doing them a disservice. And so that's something I've tried to pour into you two is it's like, say what needs to be said, because if you don't, then what starts to happen is you're actually doing the client a disservice, where they need to hear that hard truth so they can actually get the results that they not only want, but they deserve too. Like, everybody deserves to feel their best. And if it's because you're overeating on like nuts and peanut butter and crap that you don't know that or you may be splurging too much, kind of like you said. It's like, it's telling them, hey, you are not an anomaly, like you said. Like, there's something going on. So like, either you're lying to me or you're lying to yourself, and we need to get to the bottom of it. So.
Yeah. The principle to this one is food is fuel. It's not the enemy. And once you can get that into your head, like, and we start to show our clients, hey, we're going to eat carbs around the time that we're most active. And then at night, then we can have our fats. And it's, as long as you're in a calorie deficit, you're going to lose weight, but just showing them the simple side of things. Hey, this is why we eat this way at this time. This is why we eat this way. Just breaking it down where it's super simple, something that they don't need to know all the details of the macronutrients and the science things, but just laying out a simple plan that they can stick to and follow. And then over time, when they continue to do those things, then they'll start to build the skill sets of knowing why they're doing what they're doing. So, you've got to fuel yourself in order, because here's the thing, like, then a lot of women, they're scared to put muscle onto their body. But what they don't realize is when you starve yourself, the less muscle you have, the slower your metabolism is. So it can be where you can slow your metabolism down so much because you're eating so low calories that your maintenance, whenever you came in to work out with us, may have been 1,900 calories. But then you start working out with us and you start cutting your calories. And now if you eat anything above 1,200 calories, you're going to put on weight. And that could just be one date night that you guys go on. And that one date night that week puts you in a calorie surplus. So you got to have more muscle onto your body, because muscle is very expensive. So what I mean by that is the more muscle you have on your body, the more that's going to naturally just burn the calories and speed up your metabolism naturally. So our body has to work harder to hold on to muscle. So it naturally just kind of puts you in a good position there. Habit number 3, treating recovery like an option. We've got, and this is something we've kind of had to speak up on, is just people that just come into the gym and they're like, hey, I'm ready to work out, Christian. What do we got? Like, what are we doing? But then those are the same people that are like, my shoulder's starting to hurt. Like, my hips hurt. They never stretch. They never warm up properly. And mind you, like, our clients are 40 and older. That's when we need to put more intensity on that and take more time to prime up our body. And so recognizing that, what we started to do is we started to put priming movements onto the workout plan, rather than like, so they think this is part of the workout, but really we're setting them up for success, because they're like, hey, we're going to get your blood flowing, get you primed up. That way you can actually put yourself in a good position to work out without putting yourself in pain.
Yeah. So like that, with what you just said, sometimes you got to give people what they, sell them what they want, but give them what they need. So we're not talking about a lot of the the mobility and recovery, like you said, you added in, and so it's kind of tricking them into. It's like a little kid when you're trying to get them to eat their greens, and you like sneak the peas or something inside like you're blending it up or something, trying to give it to them so that they don't know that they're doing it. But I mean, what we offer here too is like that people it's amazing to me that people don't access it as much as it's like no other gyms have stuff like Stretch U. Like, and that side of it's like, if you're going to invest the money into working out and stuff, then like taking that, I mean, because we've got it where it's like you can pay $20 just to get if you're a Vitality Mill client, you can pay $20 to go in every once in a while and get some access to get stretched or get Theragun or get in compression therapy or sauna or cold chill or whatever it is as far as that stuff goes. And so it's your recovery is a prerequisite for elite results. And that means too that like your sleep is just as important. My son said something to me last night and I was like, he gets it. And he just got done with the football game and he was like, Dad, sleep is just as much important on recovering than going and getting the trainers to work on me. And I was like, you got it. Because like at that age, like just that extra sleep and that extra recovery, and that dude sleeps a lot because he knows that like it's going to benefit him. So it's a prerequisite for elite results. And once you start to unlock that and start to realize that mobility, that flexibility allows you to be able to do the things you want to do, like get down the floor and play with your kids or whatever and get up, it sets you up for success long term. And your workouts are 1,000 times better too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say let your coaches know how you're feeling.
Yeah.
I think similar to the first point we had, is we get in this mindset, or people coming in get in this mindset of, if I want to see the results, I need to push through the pain. Because that's where the results are, right?
Yeah.
That's not the case. When we are pushing through the pain, a lot of the times it can only tear things down more.
Yep.
And be even less beneficial for you.
Yep.
So let your coaches know how you're feeling. That way we can work around those things and help you out and help you recover.
Yeah, because what we don't know, we can't fix, and it creates a bad relationship with working out too. Whenever like, oh, I'm about to go to the gym and it's gonna hurt, like what, you don't want that relationship.
Well, a lot of the stuff is not the actual problem too. It's like you'll see it all the time where people have knots in their upper traps and their back, but they say they got a bad shoulder, and it's like, no, you don't got a bad shoulder. You've got a knot that's constricting your range of motion, and that's the actual problem. And so, like Isaac said, is like once you're able to voice that, then you can be able to. One of us can point you in the right direction and say, "Hey, this is actually the issue," and then you. Again, it unlocks or piriformis or something like that, where you can't sit into a squat and think that you got a bad hip or something. It's like just little simple things that if you try to hold that in, kind of like we talked about it in the Bible study today. It's the same thing. It's like if you're holding it in, like you're just doing yourself a disservice long term when we can just be able to voice it, and when you voice it. It gives you that option of somebody can go like, oh, you just need to do this. And then you figure that out. Now you've got a whole nother tool to your arsenal that you can use long term.
It's kind of fun in the gym too, because we kind of feel like people make us feel like a magician. Like somebody was doing lateral raises the other day and like, oh, I can't do lateral raises. It hurts my shoulder every time. Like, well, just turn your thumb up. They turn their thumb up. They're like, that feels totally fine. Just like that little tweak, but you just got to voice that to us, because what we don't know, we can't fix and we can't help you with. So not only does it show the importance of having a coach, but voicing that and putting that out there. And I mean, to close this one out too, is like, you're not growing in the gym. It's the recovery that you're having outside of the gym is where the muscle actually grows. In the gym, we're tearing our fibers down. So like if outside of the gym, you're not giving it enough time in between workouts to recover, if you're not eating your protein, if you're not getting your water in, if you're not getting your sleep, all of those things can stall your results and make it that much harder and that much more frustrating to achieve what you're wanting to achieve. So you've got to take recovery just as important, if not even more important than your workouts. Habit number 4, the all or nothing mentality. Yeah. So, you want to touch on that one, Seth?
So you'll tell yourself stories on a certain that food, or if I have this, then I've ruined my nutrition. And then you eat like a idiot the rest of the weekend and start to have candy and ice cream and everything else because you think that you've overdone it. But actually you're just doing it where you're just like, you're adding more and more and more to it. And then it's like, if you just allow yourself to have just a little bit and then back off and not one after another. So that all in mentality, like long term, it's going to set you back. It's a version of myself that I've had to kill off slowly but surely, and that dude tries to hang on. But when you start to see results and you start to realize that, like, oh, I can enjoy and I can be able to have a meal or 2 meals, but it doesn't have to be 4 or 5 meals strung together. You start to see results. Same thing with workouts. Like you talked about all in mentality, like workout wise, we've talked about with you is it's like you love it because it's a headspace side of it. And so like now you've had to change your workouts up to where it's not like strength training you run a little bit more to be able to go out that side of it so you can get more of a run and get outside as far as that stuff goes. So the all in mentality, like long term, is it's going to keep you stuck because you'll never get results because either you're in or you're out.
Yeah. You got anything to touch on there, Isaac?
I say with that comes understanding that it's not just a 1, 2, 3 month diet plan where you are cutting everything out, but then after that 3 months you're going back.
Yeah.
Right? We're trying to change lifestyles, right?
Yeah, I love that.
And so working that in with these habits you already kind of have and these things you enjoy, going out to dinner, that kind of stuff, and working that in with, all right, I'm going to start being smarter about what I'm eating.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be in the gym 3 times a week, and blending those together in something that is sustainable and is going to see results for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. That's why I love what we do is with our program and how it's not cookie cutter, because we have, some people that thrive on our 3-2-1 nutrition plan. We had a lady that was always in a great mood whenever she first came in. And then I started to notice like 2 weeks into it, 3 weeks into it, she wasn't, as talkative during her workouts. I could tell she wasn't happy with what she was doing. And so I asked her, like, what's going on? Is everything going okay with the workouts, with nutrition? And she's like, I hate everything on the nutrition plan. Like, I don't like, I'm like, okay, well then we're going to make a shift, because if you hate doing it now, you're going to hate doing it later. And so I told her, hey, it's not a cookie cutter plan. Like, if this doesn't work good for you, let's sit down and let's chat and find out foods that you like and how we can work these things into your nutrition. But just having a coach to be able to break that down for you and show you, hey, this is how we're going to eat long term. But yeah, I love that. It's having that mindset of, okay, I'll follow this for 42 days. But then like after that, just going back and doing what you're doing, that's the same spiral that you've been in since you were young.
We used to do that though. We made the mistake of doing that back in 2014. We did a 20-pound challenge, and we would get people where they would drop 20 pounds and then they would go right back to their old, but we were setting them up for failure. And I realized that now, like when I look back, I'm like, oh, well, they got their money back, but they didn't learn anything. All they learned is like to be out for, or be all in for those 6 weeks. And like after those 6 weeks, they go right back to their old ways. And like that's just that constant loop. And we messed, but that's how you learn. Like that's how you get better and set your clients up to long term, is to be able to recognize that's not a way to do it, and then flip it. And like since then we've made it where it's just habits.
Yeah.
Hey, just follow these habits for 42 days and we'll give you your investment to reinvest back so that you could be doing it long term.
Yep, for sure. Habit number 5, ignoring community and accountability. This is a piece that when people at the end of the 42 days that they're with us, or people that spend that time with us and go, they don't know if they see the value. And it's because they never took advantage of the app. They never asked coaches any questions. All they did was think that, okay, if I show up to the gym 3 days a week, I should be losing all this weight and getting the results. But it's letting us, like, let us ask you questions and you answer those questions in the app. those tasks that we put on your app are there for a reason, for you to sit down at the end of the night and check off if you did those or not. But if you're not stacking habits and stacking wins for your day, then you're not going to be stacking the results that you want. And so it's the not taking advantage of everything that we provide in the program. It just drives me crazy that we only have a few people that do everything that they need to do on the app, and then the rest of the people just aren't doing it. But that's the people that aren't getting the sustainable results and getting results in general. So utilizing everything that that we have to offer.
Not only just utilizing us, but utilize the community. If you go to a gym consistently, whether it's here, anywhere else, you're going to see the same people there every time. So, connect with those people and get to know them. And then you can start pushing each other and keeping each other accountable. Like, hey, how have you been? How's your nutrition going? You look like you've lost a little bit of weight.
Mm-hmm.
That's pushing me to lose a little bit more weight as well.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, if it's ignorance. Like when you have, tools, it's like having a toolbox and going, I'm going to use the hammer to figure out how to get this screw out. And it's like, well, dude, there's a screwdriver right there. Why don't you use this? You're trying to pry the hammer. You're trying to pry the screw out with the hammer. It's like, well, no, you're doing it all the wrong way. And there's a reason why we've added. There's a reason why we do the things that we do, and we've added the different things inside of like the habits and things that inside the app as far as that stuff goes. But here's the deal is like, if you went and those individuals went and ate out, for example, and you get a steak that comes with a potato and another side, you're not going like, no, I don't want the other stuff that comes with the meal. Just give me the potato. No, you want the steak because you want the steak. So it's like, why would you want to use everything that you have and I don't, maybe that's not the best analogy, but it made sense to me.
Yeah, the piece, the community that we've created here in the Vitality Mill is definitely a piece that I want to cover, because our clients, and we can all vouch for this, our clients that show up at the same time every day, they have their friend group that they look forward to talking to. And that piece of it, those are the clients that are with us the longest. And those are the people that are putting themselves into an environment every single day that sets them up for success. But the clients that we have, and they can be sweethearts, but if they don't talk, they don't connect, they don't ask questions, those are the people that are with us for 42 days and then they move on. Yeah. Because they don't build the relationships, they don't realize everything that they're missing out on if they would just open up a little bit and release that grip of asking questions. And then once you start to open up that way, then you're able to build those relationships, build those connections, and then you're just in an environment that just sets you up for success.
I had a client, so when we did one-on-one training, we had a wall dividing. So we had a one-on-one suite here and a one-on-one suite here. We had a wall dividing it. I had two clients that would come in at 6 a.m. and they were in their one-on-ones. Like I had a coach that was with one of them and I was with another one. And these ladies are still to this day, 15 years later, are best friends. Like they go and they do everything together. They have Thanksgiving together. Like they do everything together. And it was a relationship that they built inside of the gym, and having that camaraderie and that rapport with each other of like, they weren't doing the same workouts, but they were showing up at the same time. They had a coach and a trainer that was pushing them for 45 minutes. And then they built on that foundation. They started to build a real friendship that's going to last them, that's lasted them still to this day. So it's just that it's cool to see that. I think about with like Maddox coming in, Maddox is coming in like in a stroller and couldn't do anything. Like you see now he's throwing balls with us as far as that stuff goes. And like, we're talking about baby here, but it turned into a toddler. But like when Jeree brings him in, like everybody like lights, oh, Maddox, and Joni's like playing with him and Rachel's playing with him. And it's just like, that's what we wanted to, that's ultimately what, when we started this, as far as like the open schedule, like we do it, as far as that stuff goes, it's just brings a different style of coaching. So the clients are still getting their training. They're still getting customized approach, but they have that freedom to be able to come in together at the same time and be able to still have that gym atmosphere. Cause I think that side of it's really important. But at the same time, it's important for you to get your customized approach with that as well. So no, yeah, I'm grateful for it. So
Yeah, for sure. All right, so let's kind of recap here on these 5 habits. That way the clients are clear what they need to stop doing. So we need to stop going too hard, too fast. Number 2, we need to stop starving ourselves instead of fueling. Number 3, stop treating recovery like an option. Number 4, stop having that all or nothing mentality. And then number 5, stop ignoring the community and the accountability that you're placed in. Before we wrap this up, I'll kind of let Seth touch on the intro program that we're running right now, which focuses all around habit stacking and habit building. And we've got tons of testimonials and tons of clients that have been through this in the past 4 or 5 months that we've been running this. And so I'll let him touch on that if you're a listener who's not already with us at the Vitality Mill.
So our main focus is we want to set you up for success long term. And if we can go into this all in mentality where we go in and try to crush you in workouts and things like that, we're setting you up for failure. And so we have 2 phases of our program, and phase 1's the momentum side of it, where we're just you want to see some results. Your mind's the happiest when it sees results. You need to see those results as we get started, but we also need to have some rules around our nutrition and around working out. And so like with the habits that we've put into play, they help you start to create momentum, which then start to, once you have them in place, you start to have a solid foundation, and then we can start to go more into a skill set side of things. Once we go to the skill set side of it, now you start to learn how to full body strength train. Now, like I watch clients with the mobility stuff, and they're putting their leg on the hip to do a pigeon stretch kind of a deal. And now they've got these skill sets around their nutrition, because they have some rules around that now, but also the skill sets around full body strength training. And now what starts to happen, and the cool thing that we're about to start doing is now once you graduate that and you've actually followed the plan. And so it's not an option like what Christian was talking about, the people not using the app and using the things. It's like, well, then you can't graduate to the next phase of our program. And that next phase of our program is going to give them the opportunity to, maybe you don't need a coach anymore, as far as someone who is drawing that right there, pointing you in the right direction on everything. You just need to be able to, you have it down now. Then now you can start to save a little bit of money. You get a little bit more freedom to be able to drop in and work out when you want to, but you still have a little bit of accountability with what we talked about on our last podcast, where Jake brought up, where we still hold you accountable. Like, what's your weight? How much do you weigh? Where's this? And you still have that accountability there. And so that's ultimately what we're trying to do is like long term is set you up to be able to go through those 2 phases, learn, and then be able to have this, because that's why I take it as like it's a college class. Like if you come in, you approach this as like, hey, I'm going through and I'm trying to get better long term, then it's like it's something that's sustainable, you're able to keep with, and it sets you up. And what we do from there is you come in 42 days, follow the simple plan that we give you, and follow the habits, and then we give you that investment to reinvest back in, so that we can set you up to where whether you're coming in with another 3 months, 6 months, or year, or whatever it is, now you've got a game plan, and you know how to do it, and then you have the accountability and the structure with what we provide here at the Vitality Mill. So that's ultimately what we're trying to do. You're seeing the foundation of that right here. Is these 2 guys are the heartbeat of the Vitality Mill. Couldn't do it without them. And the reason why we are as successful as we are is there's not 2 guys that care more about our clients' results than these 2 guys, and I do as well. But they get to be the face, and they see they're the face of the business as far as that stuff goes, and taking care of the clients. And that's why we get such great results, because you'll let yourself down every single day. But when you have individuals that care about your results just as much as you do, you won't let them down or me down, and you'll show up and you'll do what's required because you built a relationship, and that's ultimately what we're trying to do. So that's our 42 days strong. We'd love to get you in there and let you experience that. And from there, like I said, you get your investment back if it's something that you can reinvest back in and move forward with us. On the backside of it, if you feel like we blew water and told you it was raining, then we'll give you your money back. But that won't be an issue. So Super pumped to have Isaac on with us today. Brought a lot to the table, and so more than anything, just grateful for both you guys. So, yep.
Yeah.
All right,
Wrap it up.
that's it. Appreciate you guys. Have a great day.